end-to-end application. So we learned some database related part. So MongoDB database, how to create a simple database, and how to maintain data for our project that we are designing. One small example I showed you. So how to set up and install MongoDB, and how we can create database collections. So we learned installing MongoDB, and we learned about start server and start the client tool. Client tool is MongoDB Compass you have. And we learned create a new database. So this is the MongoDB Compass. And here so we will connect connection string. It is unable to connect means services. In the services, we will start the server. MongoDB server. It is not running. We will start. Once it is running, we can connect. And we created a database called ReactDB. In that we created some collection like admin, categories, users, videos. These are the data. So our database name is ReactDB. That is the database. Then create collections. Collections are like tables. What are the collections according to our project? We have admin, and we have category. So we have like users, we have videos. That is the option. So we are creating admin, categories, users, and videos. Now, last session I showed you how we can add some data into a collection. So that means into this admin, we are adding this is admin collection. In that one document we added already. So what I given in them, I will give that also in the note. That means add sample data into collection. Add some sample data into collection. So what admin contains? So I will give here the details for admin. Admin contains details like user ID. It will have username. Admin will have password, and admin will have email. These are the details for admin. Because you need to add like a JSON, right? You need to keep data in a JSON format. So in a admin collection, admin is the table name. In that we added one record. That record contains these fields. I am just giving only fields. Value, you can keep anything. You can write like a JSON. So next we will have another collection. This is admin collection. And another we are having categories. we will create categories. In categories, we will keep category ID, category ID. So it is what type number, and category name. It's a string. These are also all string type. User ID is a string, username is a string, password is a string, email is a string. Like this, we are defining. In categories, we will mention category ID and category name. So generally, categories are nothing but we are creating a video tutorial for various software technologies. So in that case, we will give categories like, so we will give category ID like sample data also I will give category ID and category name. Category ID, we will have some one, this is some HTML. We have like 2, this is some JavaScript. We have like 3, this is like React. We have like 4, this is like CSS, like this. That means we have category ID and category name. So we have categories table, in that we can add this data. Let's add this data. So I will add, go to the database. Admin is already there. We will go to React DB categories. In categories, we will add data, insert document, and here we need to add JSON. The field name is category ID 1 and category name. Category name is, so we give some HTML. That is the category. So I will copy, insert. I will add another document. This time category ID is 2 and the category name is JavaScript. Insert. I have another document. The category ID is 3 and the category is React. Insert. And one more is category ID as 4 and here category is CSS. We have these categories, right? All the categories information we are adding like this. So we have admin table, which contains user ID, username, password, email. Categories table, which contains category ID and category name. Okay. Another table is users. So users table, it contains user ID, it contains username, it contains password. So it contains like mobile and it contains like email. Like this, we have some details. All are basic string. You can add any detail you want. As of now, these are enough for us. User ID, username, password, mobile, and email. These are the details we want to maintain for user. So you can add roughly some data. One person details. Other details we will insert from front end. From front end, we need to create a registration form. From that, user fills. Those details must be inserted into the database, right? Actually, one more is there. This is the major one, that is videos. because this is the videos we want to show after he successfully logs in. Then what we will do, we will have another table, videos. In the videos, we will have video ID. Video ID is number. We have title. Title is a string. We have URL. This is also string. That is the video path. So usually it will be some YouTube embedded path. We can keep some YouTube embedded path. So here it is the URL. Then what else? We can keep likes. Likes is a number. And you have dislikes is also a number. We have like views is a number. Like this, we will create some details. And actually category ID, this is a number. That means we have relation between the video and category. Video and category. That means actually this category ID, so it is foreign key. It is the foreign key coming from which table? Categories. It is coming from categories collection. In categories collection, you have a primary key called category ID. That category ID will be used here. So what is the relation? Every category can have several videos, and every video belongs to some category. Every video belongs to one category, and every category can have several products. So just like you saw fake store, in fake store, categories are there, products are there. So you can filter the products based on category. And when you select any particular category, those products will come. For that, we need relationship between categories, another one products. Same here, categories and videos. We have video ID, video title, so video URL, likes, dislikes, views, and all. Right. These are all the details we need to maintain for video. We will do one example here. We will see one simple example. We will add some rough data for that. You see, this is users. Users I am not adding because users will be added from the front end. But if you want to maintain what details user must have, you can add some sample data. One record I will add temporarily. Add, import, insert document. What are the fields? We need user ID. User ID is some David underscore React something. And we have username. So that is some David. Okay. We want some, what else we have? Password. And some that is David@123. And we have email and mobile. Email is some david@gmail.com. And we are adding mobile. Mobile is some mobile +91. This is some user details we are adding, insert. Only those details we mentioned for user. For user, only those details are there. And we are adding those details. That's fine. Now, one user information we are maintaining. So this is user details. This is video details. Let's add one video detail also. Here I will give sample data. Sample data for users. For users, it will be like this. For users, this is the sample data. For videos, I will give some sample data. For videos, we need to fill up all these details. Video ID, title, URL, likes, dislikes, view, and category ID. So here, let's do one thing here. So we have YouTube Naresh IT. This is Naresh IT YouTube. In this YouTube, suppose we are searching for some category. Different categories are there. I think we don't have any HTML is there because any video, if you want to upload, you can simply copy that. Some video, Python and all this. Okay, we will add some video here. No, let's say here I am searching for some which video, some React.js, some video we will search. Some React.js video is there, some video. React tutorial for beginners, we will open that. And this video, let's pause, copy this URL. And you know how to convert that. So this is the video URL actually. I will write the details now. What are the details you need? First here I will keep the details. Let's go to database, videos, add data, insert document. First, what is the video ID? Video ID is 1. That's a number. Then title. Title is so complete React something title. Complete React.js. Okay. What is the URL? URL is actually, this is the YouTube URL, but this is for watching. If you want to keep in your website and show, then you have to remove this watching too and keep it as embed. You know this now? You know any watching URL of YouTube can be converted into embedded. When you keep embedded, you can put in a page. Usually how people do that, I hope you learned in HTML how to put videos in a page. So how we can embed videos. Generally, how you can embed the videos, what you can do is in any HTML page, if you want to embed a YouTube video, then usually here we have an iframe. I hope you learned about iframes in HTML. We usually have a iframe. Iframe will have some width and height, some 400 and height as 400. In this iframe, what we do, in the iframe, we set SRC. Source is this video URL, but that is watching URL. You have to remove up to watch $V equal and make it as embed. Generally, embed URL will allow you to embed that video into your page. We have to convert all the view into embed. Then when I run this, you see, this is our page. In that page, that video is embedded. In a HTML page, that video will embed and it will play. It will play. That's how generally we convert the videos into embedded videos. This is the video code. You have to use embed. That's what I given here. Embed the video. Okay. Next, what? After embed, next, after URL, we have options like likes. Likes is a number. I will keep it 0 as of now. Another one, what it is? Dislikes. Dislikes is also 0. Okay. And what else? Views. Views is also 0. These are the basic first. And what else? category ID. This category ID comes from the number category. Which category ID it is? React means it comes under 3. That means the category ID for React is 3. You can directly give the category name, but we will maintain a database tradition, primary key and foreign key relation, right? That means now it belongs to 3. Okay. Now we have a relation between that, configuring the relations. So later you will use this relation for filtering. We can use that for filtering. Okay, let's say insert. Only this we need. Yeah, only that we need. Then we will just simply insert. One video related details are inserted. Now like this, user should able to create a video library. That means he must able to upload the videos. He must able to edit the video details, and it should also display likes counter, incrementing, decrementing, likes, dislikes, how many views are happening. Such data we can maintain, right? So for that we can use Redux. By using Redux, we can maintain a state, we can store the data. So related to how many views, how many likes are happening for that video. This is the data ready. That is the data we kept here. This is the video related data. So I will copy that video related data. Roughly, I will keep this. So this is the video related data. Oh, it's an unformatted way. Okay. So in the video related data, what are the details you need to fill up? Video ID. Video ID will be 1. Then we have title. Title will be like complete React.js. It will be like URL. So URL will be the path, the video path. That is the video path. In this video path, we need to remove up to watch, and you have to keep embed. Next, we have likes. So we set it to 0. Dislikes, we set it to 0. And views, we set it to 0. And dislikes, yeah. And one more is we need to keep what? Category ID. Category ID will be how much? 3. That depends on categories table, right? That means later, so whenever you filter, the category 3, you select category 3, it should show all React videos. User must able to filter and watch the category of videos he want, right? So this is all the data ready. This is all the data you have to create in MongoDB. But remember, you created all this data using graphical mode, because if you have learned MongoDB like database complete, then usually we can manage all this by using commands. Suppose if you want to modify any value, delete any record, actually graphical mode is simple. Graphical mode, suppose I want to make some change, then what you do, you have buttons here. This is edit button, this is delete button. You can easily do that. That means I click on the edit button, then it will open edit. Anything you can edit. Suppose what I have done, I have changed complete React reference, something I want to make the change. I will say complete React reference like that. And you see, after making the change, update. then it is updated. It is very easy to handle anything dynamically here. It is a graphical interface. You can simply manage. You can see it looks like this is the data we are having. So actually it is showing like this, but the object style is this. This is the data, right? So usually whenever you are dealing with data, generally through graphical interface, you can control all this. But this is not enough to interact with the data from any technology. Suppose you are using some backend technology like Java, .NET, PHP, Python, or Node.js. From those technologies, we have to interact with the data. That means we must be able to insert a record, update a record, delete a record. Then you need commands, because the business logic is written completely by using commands. And what generally databases do is, we have two types of databases, SQL based and non-SQL. MongoDB is non-SQL. Here we don't need any SQL queries. We have simple methods. Those methods we need to know. So here you need to learn one more thing is MongoDB commands for handling CRUD operations. MongoDB commands you need to learn for handling CRUD operations. Why you need to learn this? Because you will not directly work on MongoDB with graphical interface. Through a server-side technology, you will communicate. Then any server-side technology communicates with the database by using set of commands. You need to learn. And MongoDB is a non-SQL database. So here no SQL, because any SQL-based database needs SQL queries, right? But it is completely non-SQL. Then how the commands will work, I will show you. So what are the commands required to communicate with the tables? First thing is, so basic commands, and the point I'm just showing you the point. Suppose this is database. This is the database, and this is your React app. This is the React app. Now, this will not directly interact with the database. There will be a mediator here. And that mediator will be some server-side business logic. Server-side scripting will be there. This server-side scripting, usually it will be in JSP or PHP or ASP or ASP.NET, or it is like Node.js, like Python and all this. Now, what we have to do from here, we have to communicate with the database, interact with the database. If you are directly working on database, then you can use Compass. But if you have to communicate from your technology, then how your technology communicates? By using commands on. So that depends on what type of database. If it is a SQL database, then what will be the commands? The commands will be like select star from. The commands will be like insert into table. The commands will be like update and all this. But usually what happens, we are using MongoDB as database. It is non-SQL. Then how any technology can communicate with the database like MongoDB? If you are using database like MongoDB, how it will communicate? So the communication happens by using simple JavaScript like methods. Those methods we will see. So what are the first one? Reading data from collection. How we can read data from any collection means table. How we can read data from any table. For that, you have a method called find. Find is the function. That means we have to use db is database, db collection name, collection name dot find. Find here we have to write the query. We need to write the query here. Query. We need to write the query. That's how we need to define. We have DB, collection name, and find. For example, how do we write the queries? I will show you the query points here. Actually, queries we write like this. Generally, basic level queries. Actually, suppose I want the product, the video whose ID is 2. Then how do we write the query? The query is written like this. Find. Here the query field name. Field name is what? Video ID. Video ID is colon how much? 2. That's how we write the query. That is how we write the query. Generally, this in SQL it will be select star from table where video ID is equal to some 2 or something. Generally in SQL it will be like this, right? So here we just mention like this. We mention like this. That means the query you'll use a method called find. And the query you have to write in a JSON form. I already told you APIs. APIs, the request will be in JSON, response will be in JSON. We have RESTful. So this is JSON type queries. Here every query is JSON type. Actually here so many other options will be there. So we have operators like $GT. This is for greater than. We have like $LT for less than. So we have $GTE. This is greater than or equal. $LTE. This is less than or equal. And we have like $NE. This is not equal. And we have so OR. This is like logical OR. We have $AND. This is like logical AND. Actually OR is like, so this is OR means what? You use a pipe, and means what? Logical AND, like this. These are the basic important conditions. I am not giving complete MongoDB's related queries. I'm just giving the important point here. Because people who learn MongoDB, they know how to implement all the queries they have. Usually these basic things. For example, what is the point? I want to return all the videos whose category is some React. Right? Category name is React or category ID is some 3. Then how do we do? So we write here like this. So example. So this is example 1 I am giving. Return video whose ID is 2. Then how do we do? db dot videos dot find. Videos is the collection name. Find. What is the query? Query is video ID, that is the field name, colon, it should match with 2. That's it. For example, second one I will give return all videos whose views are above 1000. That means return all videos whose views are above 1000. How? Then you have to write like this: db videos dot find, here query. So if you write the query here, first field name Field name is what? Views. Colon. What is the query for field name? What is the query for views? Here the query for views is $GT greater than how much? Colon 1000. That's how we write. This is the Mongo queries. This is how MongoDB uses the queries. Suppose I want the videos, means just roughly I'm giving. Suppose you are using some products or something. What I want is I want all products whose category is jewelry and price is about 500. Whose category must be jewelry and it must have price above 500. Both should match. Category must be jewelry and it must be above 500. For example, I want all videos whose category is React. Category name I will use temporarily. Category name is React and their views are above 1000. That means we need two things. Then what to do? That means I will give here example 3. Return all videos with the category name, suppose React and views above 10,000, 1000. Just rough query I am giving here. How do we write? DB videos dot what? Find. Here in the query, we need to match two conditions. One condition is category name must be React. Another condition is views must be above 1000. Both should match. Both should match means we have to use $end. $end, and we put here two queries we have to write. Two queries means array. So one query and another query like this. What is the first query? First query is category name. Category name must be what? React. What is the second one? Views. Views again query. What is that views? Views must be $GT greater than how much? 1000. That's how we write. This is how Mongo queries are written. To filter the data, to access the data, this is how we write. Logical and logical, or so many queries will be there. I'm just giving you simple idea on that, right? How the queries are written. So I want specific, I want all, then we can use to read. We need a command called find. And usually find queries are written like this. So that means what it is going to do? It is going to find two queries. One is category name is React. Another one views is greater than 1000. These two queries. Suppose you want return all videos. How to return all videos? db.videos.find and empty query. That's it. This returns all. If you don't define any query, by default it will return all. Right? If you mention the query, it will return only the records that are matching that query. So these are basic queries for reading the data. So when you are writing some logic and you are trying to communicate with the database through the logic, then the commands must be used. This is how we write the commands. Okay. I will show you here. Actually, if you want to test the commands, at the bottom, you can see there is Mongo shell. You can open this Mongo shell. Okay, in this Mongo shell, so we can say use which database? So React DB, that is the database we are using. We switch it to that database. Now here DB dot, what is it? Videos videos dot find. Find, here I am defining query. Query is what? Video ID is one. As of now, we have only one. Then enter, it will get that video and show. It will get that video and it will display. If you have many records, then the queries are written like that. So I given you some sample queries, but currently we don't have many videos. Later, when you have the videos, multiple, then these all filters you can apply. These all things we can define. Actually, filters are written like this. Roughly, I will show you. Suppose I am having another database called iShopper, right? So use iShop. That is a database I am having. Show collection. Products is there. db.products.find, and it is going to return all. So 18 products are there. It is showing all 18 products. But I want only the products whose category must be jewelry. And this is actually fake store like same. Category must be jewelry and price must be above 500. Then how to write the query? db dot collection name is products dot find. Here we have to write $end. It is an array. In this array, two queries, query 1, query 2. What is the first query? First query is category. Category must be what? Jewelry. That is the first query. What is the second query? Second query is price. So price colon, again query. Must be how much? $GT. GT is for greater than. Greater than how much? 500. Like this you define and hit enter. It will return that one record is matching. And this record is 5, whose price is above 700 and category belongs to jeweler. It is going to filter the data in that way and display. The price is 700 and the category is jewelry. Only one record is matching, it shows 1. If there are many records, then we can display many. That is actually the basic query. So how the queries are used. These are the queries for reading the data. Reading data from collection. Next important is inserting. Inserting document into collection. How to insert document into collection? To insert document into collection, we have methods like insert one. We have like insert many. These are the methods. That means db dot collection name dot insert one. Insert one means one record. And you can use db dot collection dot insert many means it is an array of objects, just like JavaScript array of objects. That means you can add multiple records at a time. You can add one record at a time. If you want to add one record at a time, you have to use insert one. Multiple records, then you have to use insert many. This is inserting the records. Just simple example is, so we have to use db dot, suppose we have categories dot insert one. What is that? We want to add one more category. Then category ID is 5 and category name is Java. Like this we are giving. We can add category. Multiple categories if you want, right? Like an array of objects. That's enough. This is inserting a record. If you want to insert the record, you have to use this. Right. So that is inserting record. Let's see here. We will use our database. What is our database? React DB. And in this DB dot collection is categories dot find. It will return empty. It will return all. Currently, how many categories are present? 4. We want to add one more category. Then what we will do? DB dot categories dot insert 1. And here what it is? Category ID. Category ID is 5. And category name. Category name is some Java. And enter that record inserted, true. If that record is inserted, you can just find db dot categories dot find. It is going to return all, and the 5th record is added. So we are adding the new records and defining. So this is inserting records. Another thing you have to know is update document. How we can update any document? That means how you can modify the documents. For that, you have the methods. We have like update one, and we have update many. We can use this. We have update one and update many. Now, what are the, how do we write the query here? DB dot collection. Here we have update one. Update one. Here 2 queries we have to write. First one is find query, and second one is update query. That means what is the first step you have to do is find which record you want to update, and then tell what to update. So you have to write 2 queries like this: find query and update query. And the update operator, we have $set, we have $unset, we have $rename, like this. So these are the options used for updating. So removing any particular field, renaming any field. But here in the CRUD operation, we want to just update a record. Update a record means changing some value. Right? If you want to change some value. For example, suppose, so we have db dot videos dot find, and this is one video you have. I want to change the title of video 1 as React complete reference. Change the name. React.js complete reference, like that I want. Actually, it is complete React reference. We want to change. Then what you do? We have to write like this. Means syntax will be like this. db dot videos dot update one. First find query. How do you find? Video ID is how much? 1. Then update query. In update query, we have to do $set. What to set? What to set? We have to set the title as React.js complete. Something like this. That is how we write the query. You can set one field or you can set multiple fields also, your wish. You can set one field or multiple fields. For example, I want title to change and I want views to update as 100 views or something. Then you can add multiple comma and another value. Suppose you see now here. So we have db dot videos dot update 1. Update 1, and here first query. What is this query? This is the find query. Find query is what? So video ID is 1, comma, update query. Update query is what? $set. What to set? Here we have to define set title. Title as what? So title as what? So React JS. So complete tutorial, something like this. And when I hit enter, then it is going to update. Achha, some wrong. Video ID. Achha, some spaces issues are there. Set title the video. What is the problem? Update 1. Clone is there. What is the video ID we have? db dot videos dot find. Yeah. Okay. So db dot videos dot find update 1. And in the query, what is the first query we have to define? So we need to define the query. Which one? Find query we need to write, right? What is the find query? Video ID is matching with 1. And what is the update query we need to define? Update query is what? $set. We have to configure what to set. So title must be what? So React JS complete tutorial. Okay. Now it is fine. So this is matched 1 and modified 1. So it is updating the tutorial. Okay, let's run this and see. We are having db dot videos dot find, and you can see that is modified React JS complete tutorial. We can update any record. We can update one field, or you can update multiple. Right? Actually, multiple means when to use update many. You have to use update many when your find command is returning more than 1. When your find command is returning more than 1, then you have to use update many. Suppose I want to update some products whose city is Delhi. I want to put their stock as unavailable. Then what we have to do? There can be more than 1 which is matching. Then we cannot use update 1. We have to use what? Update many. That is option depending on what you are doing. That means here we have to define update 1 and update many. db dot videos dot when to use update many. Update many you have to use when your query is returning. Suppose here, suppose category is matching with React. Then what should happen? Then multiple records will come. Then what we will use? $set. Here we will put some views is some 4,500, something like this. This is why? Because there may be several videos which are matching with React. In that case, it will set all of their views as 4,500. This here we can use update many. Remember here find query means we can use multiple conditions. Multiple conditions means if category is React and views are above 4,000, then set it to 4,500. Like that you can write queries. So first query is find query, second query is set query, update. This is updating the records, how we can update the records, right? Next important, so we have last one is delete operation. We need delete. So delete document, we have options like delete one and we have delete many. We have delete one and delete many. Those are the options here. I'm not teaching any MongoDB here. So I will not discuss anything outside the concepts and waste the time, right? I'm just giving only the queries. So don't ask anything related to MongoDB to me, right? My class is not MongoDB class, this is, right? So MongoDB is a very big concept. So many will be there. I can't waste time in discussing MongoDB here, complete database queries, what is unset, what is rename and all. If you learned MongoDB, you will know. Otherwise, you have to explore by yourself. So I will not involve in that and waste the time. Okay. So I'm just giving only the commands that we need for our particular application. That's it. Just insert, update, delete, and read. These are the basic things we are going to implement there. So others, you depends on your database knowledge, right? So unset is used for removing the field, rename is used for modifying the field names. So much is there about database. Database means it's not 1-2 days concept. I hope you people know, right? It is months of concept to handle database, right? So I'm just giving you the overview of the commands. So don't get into these commands. What is this? What is that in MongoDB? How to handle, right? How to write different queries for MongoDB that you explore by yourself. Because MongoDB official tutorial will be there. Google, you will get so many queries, right? Here our primary aim, not teaching MongoDB to you, right? Just implementing. Because this also everybody will not do. Generally, what people teach in React, they will teach one JSON server. From JSON server, they will show you all the CRUD operations and say finish, right? So I'm not doing that. I'm showing you a complete end-to-end environment. So don't get into the questions of server-side coding and MongoDB databases and all these things. Okay, no? Right. I will make it very much clear for that. So here, what is delete one and delete many? Same db dot, some collection name. Collection name, what is it? Delete one. Delete one, what is this one? Here we have to write same find query. You have to write the find query. So what find queries you learned? Same. Suppose I want delete the record whose ID is 2. Then db dot videos dot delete one. And what is the find query? Find query is video ID. Video ID is 2. That's it. I want to delete all videos whose views are less than 10. Then what we do? Videos dot what? Delete many. What is the find query now? Whose views are how much? Query. Query is how much? $LT. Less than how much? 10. That's how we define. That means it is going to delete all the videos whose views are less than 10. Right? It is going to delete one video whose ID is matching with 2. Right? That's how basically we define the options. Huh? So this is a simple basic list of commands we need to communicate with the database. So from any server side technology, if you are trying to communicate with the database, these commands are required. If the database is MongoDB, if it is MySQL or SQL Server or Oracle, then you need SQL queries, right? You have to use the SQL queries. Okay. This is database ready. So we have the database ready and we have all the commands defined in the database. Right now, to communicate with the database, we need some server side script. And the server side API, server side business logic, and API. We are going to write server side business logic and API using Node.js and Express. By using Node.js and Express, we will write the server side logic and we will create API. Actually, Node.js is a server side scripting technology. It is a server side scripting technology, and Express in simple terms is a middleware. Express is a middleware, and actually middleware is a software framework used to handle communication between the client and the server. So Express is a middleware. Middleware is a software framework which is used to handle communication between the client and server. That means handling the request of client, processing that request, sending a response. This is all done by middleware. Actually, every technology have different types of middleware softwares, right? For example, generally, suppose you have Java, .NET, PHP, Python like technologies. How Java and .NET like technologies, they communicate with backend database. How they communicate with the backend database. Actually, Java, .NET people use the concept like Java people use JDBC like, right? And .NET people use like ADO.NET like this. If anybody asks what are these, generally they are middleware frameworks. They are middleware frameworks which are responsible for handling communication between your application and the database, right? They are middleware frameworks. So Express is a middleware framework. Actually, JDBC and all these, they have so many drivers and all configured inside. The point is, by using Node.js, you can you can configure a server, you can create a server, and by using Express, you can handle communication. That means by using these two, you can communicate with the backend database and interact with the database. Let's see how we can do. So what we have to do is, by using these, we must able to create a business logic. Means what we must able to do now is, just like fake store, just like NASA, we have to create the request and we need to send response, right? Let's see how. Why we can use these in our technologies because these are all JavaScript based. Suppose I have to teach you backend .NET and MongoDB and front-end React. Then I have to teach you .NET first. Like means I have to teach you a language called C#, ASP.NET, web APIs like that. Suppose I need to show you JSP and communication with backend MongoDB, I have to teach you again Java. But here, what is advantage of Node.js Express? They are using JavaScript. Node.js and Express, they use JavaScript. So you don't need to learn any new language. Whatever you know in JavaScript, the same, right? Let's see how we can create an API that can handle the requests. So here one important is the Node.js server side programs are written in .js JavaScript file. They are written in JavaScript file, and the programs are compiled and executed compiled and executed using. They are compiled and executed using node compiler. We have a node compiler. That means you can create some API.js and you can compile it like node API.js. That's how we compile. So server-side programs are written as JavaScript programs, and we compile that by using this API.js. That's node compiler is used. Now we will see here how to write server-side logic. So how do we write the server-side logic to communicate? Now, what are the requests you need? That you have to first decide. That means we want to build an application. If you want to build an application and you want to handle communication with the database, what are the requests you need to design? So that means API request. Observe carefully these fake store people. This is fake store API. You see these fake store people given the requests like this. These are the API requests. These are the API requests. That means what is the first one? Products. What it will do, it will return all products. Actually, this is server-side routing. I told you that routing is both client-side and server-side. This is server-side routing. And you see here, they have get methods, they have post, put, and patch and delete methods. So put is used for modifying all the details. Partial details means you can use patch. Patch is for modifying only few details, partial. And patch put is for modifying all the details. Now we need to create these routes. These routes need to be created server side. So how do we handle that? How we can create? First, I will show you some examples here. First, let's create one example. This is create a server-side API that can handle request from client and send some HTML response. Create a server-side API that can handle request from client and send some HTML response. First, we will see this simple. How we can create a server-side API. So for that, actually, to do all these handling, again, you need to be very perfect in server-side technologies. Every server-side technology is again huge. So I'm giving you a simple point of how to create a server which can manage the request and process. For that, what you have to do is first step, you have to install the following libraries into project. You have to install following libraries into project. Into your React project, you install these extra libraries. What are those? Is npm install express. Another one is npm install MongoDB and npm install course. These are the basic things you need. So this express is middleware framework for API, and MongoDB is drivers to connect with MongoDB, and course, this is nothing but handling cross origin resource sharing. So cross-origin resource sharing is nothing but generally when you are trying to transport data from one server, one app to another. Usually, sometimes what happens, the app may block your data because transporting data across apps is identified as a security threat. Then sometimes it may block the transporting. By installing this course, we can manage that. That means the course plugin allows the application to share data with another. And anytime you want, you can even block it so that you will not allow application to share data with another. You can control that. So by using course, that means you see when you install an app, you can select an option that share this app data with others. If you disable, then it will not allow to share. If you enable, it will allow to share. That you can control by using this course plugin. If you have this course plugin. So Express is required for creating API. MongoDB is required for communicating with the database. Some people who learn MongoDB, they use Mongoose Drive also. Mongoose. There is MongoDB, Mongoose. Two libraries are there. Actually, Mongoose is nothing but it is ORM mechanism. ORM means if you are not just communicating with the database, you want to create database, you want to manage the database, then Mongoose library is used. Just to communicate, interact with the database, we need MongoDB. That's the reason on internet, when you are looking for Munstack examples, you will find so many people using Mongoose library. Mongoose library is because they are using ORM technique according to that project requirements. ORM means what? You tell the client requirements, the database is created for that requirements in the backend. Currently, we are not doing that. Currently, we are already having a database. And with that database, we need to communicate. For that, which is enough? MongoDB is enough. You have MongoDB, we have Mongoose, two are there. On internet, there may be Mongoose examples, so many. So don't need to worry about that. We are not using any ORM mechanism here. So we will use plain MongoDB. That's enough. These are the three libraries first you have to install. Let's install them in our project. So those three libraries you need to install. So here I am installing those three libraries. npm install express save. And express is the middleware library you need. Okay, next we need npm install MongoDB and save. So another one, npm install course and save. These are the libraries. So these are enough. So these are the three libraries we are installing. Now let's maintain a separate folder. Let's maintain a separate folder for server-side logic. For server-side logic, I will maintain a folder called server. Okay. And here I am adding a file. So video API.js. Video API.js. That is what the JavaScript file. Server-side programs are written in Node.js by using JavaScript. Node.js uses JavaScript. So here, first thing is we have to add a new folder into project. So by name we given as server, then add a new file. This is video API.js. Now here I'm first level, I will show you a simple request. So how to create a server API which can manage the request from the client and send a response. So we have to first create Express, and we need to import Express library. We have to use a require method. Require which module? Module name. Generally, Node.js uses require module system. Require, what is the module? Express. We are importing that. Initially, this is enough. That means just to create a server, this is enough. So now what we have to do, we have to create an app that uses this Express. And this app must handle get request. What is the request you are expecting from client? If request is slash, means what? He is not requesting anything. We learned routing na, wildcard routes, slash, and we have asterisk, right? Those are wildcard routes. This is same. If it is request is slash, then it uses a callback function. This will have two objects, one request object, another response. This is how API requests are created. What request object can do? It can collect data from client and use it. What response object can do? It can send data to client. So what we will do? Response.send. As of now, we will send a response. Welcome to API. Just a message I am giving. After that, response.end. Response will end. Okay, this is one request. Like that, you can create any number of requests. For example, I am using app get next slash. If it is like products, and here I will give request and response. Now what we need to do? Response.send. It will send, so products listing page, something like this. And response.end. We have to end the response. Okay, like this, how many requests we created? 2. First we will do this. This is just sending some message, right? Now you created an app. This app should start running server side. Then we have to use a method app.listen. Listen on which port number? Port number I will give as our React is already running on 3000 port number. I will give some 5000 port number. You can give any port number, but make sure that it is not already in use by some other apps. If it is already used in by some other apps, it will alert you immediately. It will show that message saying that this port is already in use. Please use a different port number. It will show that. Right now, I will put a message console.log. We will say server started. Where server started? http://127.0.0.1. Port number is how much? 5000. This, the IP address is standard for everybody. It is either local host or IP address. But here port number, our React application is running in 3000 and this will be running in 5000. Okay. Now let's start this API. Open this file location in command prompt, open in terminal. And here we have to use node. Node is the compiler name. Node program name. Program name is what? Video API.js. This is a node compiler. It will compile this program and it will show the message saying that server started. You see server started. Okay, let's make a request from browser and see. From browser, we are making the request http://127.0.0.1:5000 and hit enter. You can see it will get the response. Welcome to API. We have two requests like that created. What is the second request? Second request is what? Products, and it will say products listing page. Now later what we will do? Later we will write the methods. Those methods, what they will do? Get the data from database and send the data. As of now, I am just sending HTML. So let's stop the server. If you want to do any modifications, Control C, it will stop. After that, let's go. This products should send not text. It should send array of objects. Later, we can bring this from a backend database and display them, right? As of now, I'm sending array of products, name, and we have like price and display some price. Another one, we have like name, so like mobile, and we have like price and some price. Like this, we have defined. Now, what we are doing is we are trying to compile this one more time. Now, let's compile and run this one more time. Now we will make a request here, products. This time it is going to send the JSON. Same how the fake store is getting us the data and displaying in the same way. This is our own API. But what it have to do? Connect with the database, get the data and return the data. As of now, we just created sample requests. That request is sending a response. How to create that? For that, first thing, you have to import Express library. We have to create an app. That app will use the request. If request is empty, then it will send this message. If request is products, then it will send this message, send this content. After you create app should start. If app is not running, you cannot request, because if server stopped, how it will respond? That means make sure that it is running. If it is running, then listen means started. At which port number? Some specific port number you define. Then you make a request, it will get the attention. And for example, if I stopped the server and user is requesting, then obviously it will say unable to reach. Cannot reach. Make sure that you started the server again, node and the file name. Now refresh, it will get the data. If server is stopped, it will not work. So now what we have to do is here, this is the basic program. That is the basic program. This is server side routing. This is server side routing. We have to write all the routes now. What are the routes? One for fetching users, one for fetching admin, one for fetching videos, another for fetching categories, another post method for admin registration, post method for user registration, post method for new video adding, and put method update for updating videos, delete method for removing videos. We have to write all the API methods which will communicate with the database in the backend. That we will see tomorrow. First, you try up to this. Tomorrow itself, first I will take doubts if you have any problems in handling this. Then if there are no doubts, then I will go to the next level. Otherwise, you can't handle, right? If you don't try up to this, you can't handle. So first tomorrow, immediately when the class starts, I will first take the doubts if there are any problems in working out this. Otherwise, we will continue with the next level. In the next level, tomorrow, we will learn how to create the complete API for managing CRUD operations. Then these API methods we have to use in React to communicate with the backend databases. Tomorrow we'll see that, okay?